Hello and welcome to another episode of TEVAdrive, and today we are testing and reviewing this 2023 Porsche Taycan GTS. And welcome to the windy Georgian Bay. It's a cloudy, cold, rainy day on the Georgian Bay shores, but we're here to give you our impressions of this GTS. We previously reviewed 2 years ago the lower version, the 4S, which is now the base version. Then you have this GTS, then you have the Turbo, and then you have the Turbo S. We would love to also get our hands on the either Sport Turismo or Cross Turismo wagon versions of this car, but for now we are testing this GTS to see where it's positioned. It's supposed to be the sweet spot of all the Taycan range. It was introduced later. Initially there was only 4S, Turbo and Turbo S. Then the GTS arrived in the Taycan lineup. In both sedan and wagon versions. So first of all, slight changes in the last couple of years to the looks of the Taycan. Very minimal facelift design changes in the front and back. So we'll walk around the car to show it to you. We'll show you the front and trunk space again, as well as the interior, minor changes to the interior. This car, being a GTS, it's equipped with 21-inch rims, which are an upgrade. So in terms of the price, currently the 4S base starts at around 130,000. This GTS, second from the bottom, starts around just over 150. Then you go to Turbo, which is just over 180, and finally the Turbo S in the sedan version is 220,000 roughly. In terms of the acceleration, the standard model is 4 seconds, followed by this GTS at 3.7 seconds. Then you have the Turbo at 3.2, and finally the Turbo S at 2.8 seconds from 0 to 100. And again, so the prices, it's substantially more than the Tesla. This performance would be kind of close to the standard Tesla, which is just under 100 grand, versus this of 150. Now, this press car, even though the base is just over 150, this car has almost 50% of its price stuffed in optional items in the car. So the total price for this car is $212,000 plus taxes. So basically it's $250,000 for this car with taxes as you see it. You have the dual charge ports here as usual. You have the level 2 on the left hand side, and then you have the level 3 on the other side of the car, on the right hand side of the car. You can look at the pictures and videos that we posted from our various DC charging sessions, and then we'll give you our total impressions later. This is a custom color, by the way. There is no name for it. It just says it's custom color, and that custom color to match, it costs over $13,000. So again, let us quickly show you the interior. There's some changes in the interior, as well as the glass roof, Burmester sound system, very comfortable. This is the Olia beige interior. The seats have 24 different ways to adjust electrically, of course. And then the back seat space is, as usual in the sedan, in the Taycan sedan, it's very tight. In terms of the headroom and also the legroom, it's pretty tight. So a lot of people prefer the wagon version for that reason, because of more space in the back, and also the up and coming Macan full electric car is gonna offer you more space, and eventually the Panamera will go full electric, and Cayenne will also go full electric. For now, let us show you the trunk space. So right now you can see the same unibrow, but the Porsche logo is now built into the rear, under the rear wing. It's very discreet. We thought it would be lit up, but it's not. So you just have the unibrow, and these are the rear fogs that we turned on for effect. You have the button here. It's an electric lift gate. The trunk is not very large, as you can see. The access is pretty narrow, and then you have some extra storage under the floor here. So there we go. Let us show you the front space as well. We might as well, in case you missed our last video. To open the front, you have to use the screen in the middle of the car here. So basically you have to press this button here, and then you pop the hood or the frunk. So the Taycan does have a frunk, which is nice, and it's large enough to fit the, I keep forgetting, I just had it open. There we go. It's hydraulic. It's very windy today, so we have to be careful, but it's deep enough. It's almost Tesla size, deep enough to house the charging cable and the case for it. So it's pretty decent size frunk. Okay, since it's cold and ready, let's bring you inside and then let's take you for a spin to give you our impressions and consumption statistics. All right, so here we are inside the 2023 Porsche Taycan GTS, which is supposed to be the sweet spot of the Taycan range, being above the 4S, which is the base model now, and above it you have a Turbo and Turbo S. So this one, compared to the last 4S that we drove a couple of years ago when they first came out, it's more powerful, number one. It's it has about 580 horses total, and it's good for about 3.7 seconds. Versus 4 seconds for the 4S. It's not a major difference, it's 0.3 seconds, but it gets you into this exclusive sub 4 second club, at a price of just over 150,000, where the base 4S is 131,000. And then above it, of course, you can go to the Turbo at 180 some thousand, and finally, the top of the line Turbo S is about 220,000 Canadian dollars plus luxury taxes and all the other taxes, of course. This one here, even though the base is just over 150, with all the options, it's got over $60,000 in options. So this one, as you see it, is 212,000 plus taxes. So some of the differences that we noticed. First of all, let's give you the range of the GTS. So right now we're in range mode. We're showing a range that's 95%, showing a range of 380. If we change the modes to normal, it goes down to 370 kilometers. If we keep going to sport mode, it's down to 360. And finally, Sport Plus is 352. So it's about 40 kilometers difference from range to Sport Plus, and kind of makes sense. So let's go back to normal, and actually we can leave it in range mode. It's important to know that, especially if you're not on on the main road, on the asphalt road, or if you're on smaller roads or approaching a driveway, watch your chassis height. Right now, as you can see, because we changed modes, the chassis went back to low, and we're not on the road right now. So you want to make sure that you are in a lift mode, especially when you're underground garages, approaching speed bumps, or entering driveways. It's ideal to be in the lift mode. So we went through the different drive modes. The rest of this stuff is pretty much similar to the last model we saw. We reviewed 2 years ago, the 4S. You have the passenger screen here, which the 4S didn't have. So the passengers, when they are sitting here, they can control navigation, media, phone, devices, sport chrono settings, and all that stuff, which is kind of good. The only thing is that the driver can actually see the screen, versus some of the other electric cars like the EQS or even the Jeep, where the screen was made in such a way that the driver cannot see it. So it's not a distraction to the driver. Here in the Taycan, I can very well see what's happening on the passenger screen as well, and I can also reach it and control it. Anyway, so that's about it. I just want to show you one more difference from the last version that we saw, and that's the roof. So we're gonna go here into the menus. You press this button here, which controls the various panoramic sunroof configurations. When you press it here, a menu pops up here, and then we'll start with a clear. Although it's a cloudy day, so you won't be able to tell much of a difference because it's a very cloudy, rainy day. So right now we're in clear. We'll change the sunroof to matte. Yeah, unfortunately it's not a very good day to see it. Then you have semi, and you have bold. There you go. So it's a kind of a nice design on the roof. So again, bold, back to semi, back to matte, and back to clear. There we go. So that's something different, the electronic or electrochromatic glass on this, which is kind of matches some of the BMWs, and Mercedes also has the similar option. So it kind of makes sense that Porsche should have the same option. You have your climate screen here. So that's the rest of it is pretty much the same as the in all the other Taycans. We went through all the storage and all the other options already in our previous video, so we won't be going through it. Let's take you for a drive now and talk about the consumption, performance, and our impressions. Now, keep in mind that when we started this test, we were in a warm weather. It was over 20 degrees and sunny. Today we're down to 7 degrees and rain and wind, etc. So that's going to affect the performance and consumption and everything else. All right, so let's put it in drive. And the way you do it, you have the shifters right here. It's not illogical, or it's very different than some of the other cars. We're in drive now, and let's get out of the sunroof mode. We are chassis height, we are in lift. Good. We're good to go because we're just on the grass outside of the main road. So we want to keep it in lift until we get to the road, and then we can put it back in normal or even low. And then the chassis height is controlled by the mode that you're driving in. We are on the shores of Georgian Bay, so it's very windy and rainy day. In the range mode, you are limited to 110. So in our test, we didn't use the range mode because it's limited to a fairly low speed. Even on the 400, you don't want to be limited to 110. So we did all our testing pretty much in the normal mode, and then with a few stints in Sport and Sport Plus, when we needed the power to overtake, etc., etc. So let's get to the main road, and beyond a certain speed, the chassis will automatically adjust, and we'll see at what speed that happens. So we're in lift mode, and as we accelerate, pretty sure the chassis will change. Yeah, see, it already changed it to low. We can change it to regular. I don't think we need to be in low, so let's just, hopefully it can stay in regular chassis height. By the way, this car is equipped with rear wheel steering. I believe the 4S we drove also had the rear wheel steering, but it's very minimal. It's not like Mercedes or BMW where you can choose between 3 degrees and 10 degrees. This is most likely around 3 degrees only, so you can barely even see it when you're standing outside of the car, but you can feel it. Definitely easier to maneuver the car into tight parking spots, and also on the highway, your lane change maneuvers are much faster thanks to the rear wheel steering. So we're in range mode, so obviously when you accelerate, you still have a very good acceleration. Obviously it's a Porsche, but you can feel the difference when you switch it to normal. We're in normal mode. Right away you can hear or feel the difference. And then once you get to Sport and Sport Plus, the artificial sounds start to appear. Okay, so this is when you're gonna hear it automatically. You can change all those options through the menus, but normally as soon as you get to Sport, there you go, we're in Sport. Right away you get the artificial engine sounds, and you can even hear them on the outside. So yeah, they have speakers on the outside as well, so that people on the outside can hear those sounds as well. So it's a pretty wet day. We won't be able to give you the full effect of the acceleration, especially in the launch mode. So we're in regular Sport. So the sounds are still pretty, pretty quiet. It's only when you get to Sport Plus. So let's do that now. There you go. Yeah, you can definitely hear the difference in sound in the Sport Plus. It's the loudest sound effects you have in the Sport Plus. So there's a car behind us. We're gonna let it go. Beautiful fall colors all around us. Unfortunately, it's not a sunny day, so it's not gonna look as nice. We're gonna pull aside to the side of the road and wait until the traffic passes, and then we'll try and give you the full effect of the launch mode and the full sound effects of the launch mode as well. Okay, so let's get into the middle of the road, get a little further, and the way you do the launch mode, and again it's wet. Let's do it first without the launch mode from the stop, and you have the hold button here. So let's try and basically go full on in the Sport Plus. Yeah, and it's super nice. It's still not the full effect. To get the full effect, you need to do the launch mode. So let's show you what the launch mode looks like, and it's activated exactly the same way as in BMW or Mercedes. So basically, you stop all the way, you press on the brake pedal all the way. While pressing the brake pedal, you have launch control activated. You can hear the launch control. Okay, ready, go. And it's wet pavement surface, so we got a bit of a spin on the wet surface, but you can definitely feel the effects of the launch mode is how you really get the 3.7 seconds from 0 to 100. So it's definitely faster than the standard 4S, not by much, but it is. And then if you really want to have the highest acceleration that you can get it right now in the Porsche Taycan, it's the Turbo S with 2.8 seconds. Now that there's a Turbo GT coming, which is just being tested, and spy pictures have been posted online on the Nürburgring in Germany, and that is supposed to be a Tesla Plaid matching 2 second to 100 acceleration. So that's another model that's coming. I can just imagine the price, where the top model already is well over 200,000. The Turbo GT probably is going to be closer to 300,000 or more. But anyways, so let's talk the prices. Again, 150,000. You can get into the sub 4 second category of electric cars for half that price, but we're talking Porsche, right? If you want to compare it with the Tesla, to get the same acceleration, you get it in the standard Tesla Model S, which is now priced under 100,000 versus 150,000. So you can get a nice electric car for the difference between these two cars. But then again, I repeat, we're in a Porsche, so a lot of Porsche enthusiasts will only consider a Porsche, and a lot of them switched from gas Porsches to electric Porsches, and soon enough they're going to have more choices. Right now you only have the Taycan sedan and Taycan Cross Turismo or Sport Turismo, which hopefully we'll test soon. Soon enough there will be a Porsche Macan pure electric, which will be produced alongside its gas version, which will be different. And then also in the next few years, you're going to see the 718 or the Boxster pure electric, both in Roadster and the Coupe. And of course, we have the Panamera coming in pure electric in the next few years, as well as the Cayenne. So the Cayenne just came out with an updated version with a much bigger battery, over 20 kilowatt hours. So we will test it to see if we can reach the magic 100 kilometer range on that one. So Porsche is offering a lot more and more of the pure electric and plug-in hybrid models, which is great to see. And the Porsche Taycan in both sedan and wagon versions their sales are doing great, in spite of the fact that it's so much more expensive than the Tesla. But again, the brand loyalty and the brand recognition is there, so people are really buying them up, and then they are eating into they took away some of the Tesla owners that switched to a Taycan, but they're also taking away the sales from the gas versions of the Porsche, of course. Ever since the Taycan was launched in both sedan and wagon versions a few years ago, it's the sales of the equivalent gas Porsches like the Panamera, for example, went down, where the sales of the Taycan in both versions went up. So that's about it. Now let's talk about the consumption that we managed to get. So we drove this Porsche twice between Toronto and Georgian Bay. The best result that we got in normal mode with climate on, the temperature at that point was over 20, so we were using air conditioning. The air conditioning was set at around 22 degrees, which was kind of matching the outside temperature. We got a very good result of just over 20.3 to be exact, over 150 kilometers from Toronto to Midland, which was a very good result. Then on the next round trip from Midland to Toronto and back, which we did the same day, very similar conditions, we got the result which was a little bit worse. That was about 23, and that could be the colder weather, the rain, and other factors. The wind that day were slightly different than the first day of our testing. So right now we're gonna try and get to the Highway 12 to demonstrate the auto steer and the cruise control, which you activate by using these buttons here. So you activate it by pressing the button there, and it's on, it's ready. You push it forward, and the distance control, you can decrease it using this button. This is maximum, this is minimum. We're set at the current speed. You increase it by pushing it forward. Right now we're set to the speed on this road, and the auto steer is not on just yet, so we'll will not see it appearing both here on the dashboard and in the head-up display until we get to the bigger highway. Right now we're just on a side road, city road. We should turn on the wipers, I guess. Leave them in auto. You can adjust the intensity, of course, to maximum. There we go. Let's see if we can get, and keep in mind, this is not a full auto steer. This is just lane keep assist. So it's similar to our Audi e-tron. I guess the Porsche does not like the full auto steer options. So resume, we just press it up, and we adjust it to the highway speed here. Let's see if the lane keep assist will turn on. There you go, it's on right now. You can see it turn green, both here on the dash and in the head-up display. But basically it's, see, it's correcting. It felt that I was approaching the right lane too far, and it's correcting slightly. It turns red here and there, and it's just a steer assist. That's all it is. So it'll be bouncing off both lanes. It's not an auto steer system. So that's about it. We really enjoyed our time, even though it was just a weekend stint only with this Taycan GTS. We really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Porsche Canada, for allowing it to us, and we really look forward to finally testing the wagon versions of either the Sport Turismo or Cross Turismo of the Porsche Taycan in any versions, because that's the version where finally we won't have issue with the headroom in the back. Right now my son Paul Jr. is behind the camera. He's the one struggling with the headroom in the back. Our heads are touching the roof in the back seat of this car. So the wagon version would be really the one, if we ever consider to switch, and we perhaps may down the road, upgrade our ride. That would be the only version we would consider. Of course, with the Macan EV coming, and a lot of the others, 718, arriving soon as well in the Roadster version. A lot of exciting electric cars from this brand coming in the next little while. So that's about it for today. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, if you have any questions regarding this car or this review, do not hesitate to comment. And as usual, of course, never forget to press the subscribe button to be on our channel, to be notified when the next review will be coming. And we have lots of other exciting cars coming to our channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next review.